Hello, thank you for tuning in to learn more about the MCAP for English Language Arts and Literacy. My name is Christy McGrath, and I am the Teacher Specialist for Secondary English and Language Arts. Today I will share the MCAP ELA literacy information that we have at this time, but please know that it may change, and if it does, we will communicate those changes. First, the Maryland Comprehensive Assessment Program, or MCAP for short, is meant to provide information to educators, parents, and the public on student progress towards proficiency on the Maryland State Content Standards. The Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, requires that states administer annual statewide assessments to all students in English language arts in grades 3 through 8 and once in high school. Therefore, the MCAP for English Language Arts and Literacy will be administered to students in grades 3 through 8 and 10. Next, I will share the information we currently have about the MCAP for English Language Arts and Literacy in grades 4 through 8 and 10. The third grade assessment includes foundational reading items, which I will not discuss today. In grades 4 through 8 and 10, there will be 4 70-minute testing sessions. Unit 1 will include 1 informational passage and 1 literary passage. After each of the passages, students will be asked to answer 4 to 6 evidence-based selected response and technology-enhanced items. For the informational single passage, these EBSR and TEI items will measure RI standards 1 through 8, including 1 to 2 RI4 vocabulary item. For the literary single passage, these EBSR and TEI items will measure RL standards 1 through 7, including 1 to 2 RL4 vocabulary item. Students will not be asked to write a constructed response on Unit 1. All texts that students read will have been identified as on grade level. However, texts will be flagged as being high, medium, or low complexity within the grade band. During this coming 2019-2020 school year, all texts will be in the mid-range. Beginning in school year 2020-2021, the ELA Literacy MCAP will become passage adaptive. Unit 1 will be a routing unit used to determine whether students will move on to high, medium, or low grade band reading material. There will be other opportunities throughout the test for students to level up or level down. But remember, during this upcoming 2019-2020 school year, the test will not be passage adaptive, and all texts will be in the mid-range of the grade band. Next, let's talk about Units 2 and 3. These 2 units can come in either order. One of these units will be a literary performance task, and the other will be an informational performance task. The literary performance task, or LPT, will contain paired literary passages linked by theme or topic, and students will be asked to answer 4 to 6 EBSR or TEI items measuring RL standards 1 through 9, and another 2 to 3 vocabulary items measuring RL standard 4. Students will also be asked to write 1 constructed response that measures writing standard 1, 2, or 3. This means that after reading the 2 literary passages, students will be asked to write an argument, an informative text, or a narrative. In addition to measuring writing standard 1, 2, or 3, the constructed response will also measure language standards 1 through 3. Remember that Units 2 and 3 can come in either order. One of these units will be a literary performance task, and the other will be an informational performance task. The informational performance task, or IPT, will contain paired informational passages linked by topic, and students will be asked to answer 4 to 6 EBSR or TEI items measuring RI standards 1 through 9, and another 2 to 3 vocabulary items measuring RI Standard 4. Students will also be asked to write one constructed response that measures writing standard 1, 2, or 3. This means that after reading the 2 informational passages, students will be asked to write an argument, an informative text, or a narrative. In addition to measuring writing standard 1, 2, or 3, the constructed response will also measure language standards 1 through 3. The constructed responses that students will be asked to write will be scored using new rubrics. The MCAP rubrics are still in draft form, but we do know that there will be a different rubric for each type of writing. As soon as we have more information about the MCAP writing rubrics, we will share it. The constructed responses that students will be asked to write are different than they were asked to write on PARCC. We are carefully considering the implications of this change, and many of our revisions to curriculum and assessments this summer were in response to the new writing expectations on the MCAP ELA literacy assessment. The final unit on the ELA literacy MCAP assessment will be a field test. It will be structured the same as either Unit 1, Unit 2, or Unit 3. In the past, PARCC items were purchased from ETS. Maryland will continue to purchase some of its items from ETS. In fact, during the first year of MCAP testing, all items will have been purchased from ETS. As Maryland educators develop new items, they will be field tested during Unit 4 of MCAP. MSDE has shared that this field test unit will be necessary until they have a large bank of passages and items they can use. Therefore, schools can expect that all students taking the ELA literacy MCAP will take the final Unit 4 field test for several years. The platform on which students take the ELA literacy MCAP will not change. It will still be administered on Pearson as it was for PARCC, so the practice items can still be accessed. Additionally, the information gleaned from the ELA literacy MCAP will be the same. We will still receive information about the 5 claims: reading literature, reading information, vocabulary, writing, and language. And while the test will become passage adaptive in school year 2020-2021, there will be an equating process in scoring such that we can fairly review all student scores. We know that this is a lot of information to digest. We at the FCPS English Language Arts Department would like to remind you that our standards have not changed, and our instruction should remain aligned to the standards. We have worked hard this summer to make sure that our curriculum and assessments are aligned to the standards and will prepare students for success on MCAP. As we learn more information, we will certainly share it, but if you have any questions about the information presented today, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for your time and ongoing dedication to the success of all students.